Beau is Afraid is Ari Aster's new movie with Joaquin Phoenix. Yes, Joaquin Phoenix stars in Beau is Afraid. And I gotta tell you, this is a 3-hour movie, guys, rated R. It's an abstract piece. Very abstract. The synopsis reads, following the sudden death of his mother, a mild-mannered but anxiety-ridden man confronts his darkest fears as he embarks on an epic Kafka-esque odyssey back home. From the director of, well, Hereditary and Midsummer, my thoughts on this, guys, is that it is not a good movie. The 3-hour runtime really hurts this movie. It starts off with this general feeling of anxiety to it, where it's kind of like, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is doing a good job in this, portraying kind of like a person with a mental disorder or like some kind of handicap. You don't know what it is exactly. Like, it is anxiety for sure. And it's told through memories of him when he's younger, dealing with his mother and stuff like that, when he's an older man, going to therapy and stuff like that. He lives in a rundown building, very much like the Joker movie, starting off kind of like, you know, how Gotham was all run down. It starts off like that. But yeah, somebody said that it was stressful to watch because Ari Aster does do some interesting stuff here with building up that he's afraid of seeing other people. He's afraid of what's going on outside. He's taking medications to keep that under control. But it just goes off into these other weird directions where you're an hour into it and you're like, okay, we get it. He's got anxiety. What does this have to do with his mother part so far? Right? Like a full hour into it. But when he does get to his mother in the last hour, 45 minutes or so, that's when the movie starts to really shine. It's everything else in between. He spends some time with Nathan, let's just go over the cast. He spends some time with Nathan Lane, there he is, and Amy Ryan. I don't know doing what, some kind of rehab or something, but it's kind of like he's a Nathan Lane's like a doctor of surgery of something, but it's like, is he there to help these people get through some PTSD or something? It's kind of like you're just asking yourself, what the heck is going on? Kylie Rogers is like their daughter, and there's some weird interactions in there where it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we've established that things are weird. We don't know who these people are or how exactly they're trying to help them, but it's kind of like it just goes on and it goes on. And at a certain point, I was like, I'm done. If this is all that it's going to be, I want to see that door. I want to go. I want to go out that door now. Not because I'm getting anxious myself. It's just boring. The payoffs towards the end with the mother, I understand that will be like, that's the crux of it for most people, is that, yeah, we heard that he's got these mommy issues, and if that's what I was expecting going in, is that it was going to be all about him dealing with his mom issues, and it that storyline takes they sidestep it at certain points for things like the Nathan Lane storyline there, and I don't like that. And then he goes in the woods and he watches a play and things get very abstract, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Is he walking on a play set, or is he falling in the forest and this is all just in his head? What the heck is going on? And it becomes too much. It's too much. And there's Parker Posey in it. I said this in my initial reaction. It was good to see her again, and I did like what she did in this movie. It was a small part, but it was cool to see her back. Overall, guys, I gotta say that I can't recommend this movie in the theaters. This is not a theatrical experience. Beau is Afraid is a perfect example of a movie that should go straight to streaming. This should not have gone to theaters. I know it's like, but James, don't you champion the theatrical experience? Not for movies like this. Not for movies like this. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what other people were saying and see if I agree with what they were saying. Beau is Afraid is 70% by the critics, 73% by the audience, and that's much higher than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be much lower especially from the audience. Now, I'm guessing that that's going to be a lot of people who are Joaquin Phoenix fans, a lot of people who are Ari Aster fans. So if you are either one of those and you don't care what other people say, you just want to hear everything that's good from them. Oh, Ari Aster, he did Hereditary. He's a master. He can't do anything wrong. If you're here for that kind of stuff, you aren't going to get it from me. I'm somebody who champions Joaquin Phoenix. I love his work. In this, I just found it to be serviceable. There was nothing in this where I was watching him and saying, wow, you got to check this scene out. It's not like the Joker. It's not like that. There's not one moment in there where he's like sitting on the TV show with Robert De Niro, like that scene. There's no scene like that. It's just a bunch of scenes that kind of like, okay, I understand what you're trying to say, but do we have to take so long to get to it? For crying out loud. And then he goes up into an attic where there's like a monster up there. It's so bizarre, and it's just like, is it well-founded? And I don't think it is. Okay, let's take a look at some snapshot reviews here and see what people are saying. Richard Roper didn't like it. Beau is afraid is a bore. I'm afraid. A bore is putting it lightly. Ari Aster, 3 hours. That needed to be cut down to at least 2 hours. There's a good chunk out of the middle that just could be, actually out at the start too, that just could have been like, click. Yep, take that all out, because that doesn't add anything to the character. That doesn't add anything to the story. You're just putting it in there as whimsy to establish that he's got anxiety. Okay, so it starts out intriguing, great even, before spiraling into something bizarre and pointlessly bloated. Exactly, Huffington Post. Pointlessly bloated. Okay, let's take a look at some bad reviews here from the BBC. If Aster had simply chopped out the second of the film's 3 hours, it might have been more coherent, not less. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying about the Nathan Lane stuff with him going to that house. It's kind of like, that doesn't add anything more to the fact that we already know that he is a disturbed person who's dealing with mental issues, with anxiety and taking all of these pills to try to keep it in check. We know that already, so we don't need to go through this again with this weird family in this house dealing with people with PTSD. And it's kind of like, yeah, it runs out of gas. It outstays its welcome. Beau is afraid it outstays its welcome with the 3 hour runtime. And yeah, it's not one of my most pleasurable movie-going experiences of 2023. I wouldn't give it as low as, well, I can't go as high as a 7 out of 10 for this. I really can't. It's going to be one where it's going to come and go. People will talk about it for the next week or so, and then when it goes, people will be just like, okay. What was that movie that came out in 2003 with Ari Aster? What was that one that he did? Oh, yeah, that's right. There was Beau is Afraid. What happened in that one again? Yeah, and it's not going to have anything like that. There's nothing memorable in there that'll make you go, holy crap. Yes, despite that junk monster that you see, if you know what I'm talking about, that's shocking and all, but it's kind of like, that's nothing that makes you go, that's weird, like Brazil or Eraserhead or anything like that. That's what he was trying to do. Right? With this, Ari Aster. Like if you've seen a Eraserhead, like a David Lynch or a Cronenberg film, he was trying to do that kind of abstract stuff. And he just needed to be dialed in because it just didn't work for me. Beau is Afraid is a 5 out of 4.5 out of 10. 4.5 out of 10 for Beau is Afraid. And a lot of that has to do with the runtime, indeed. And if you've ever said that you watched a movie and it was like, I can feel the Hollywood set watching this. A lot of the opening sequences, while disturbing, like the cityscape and stuff, that felt like a movie set to me. It truly did. Just because you saw the same actors doing certain things on street corners and stuff like that, it just took me out of it. It was kind of like, you can almost hear him call action before you saw the scene cut from one angle to another. You can almost hear it in the background. It's like, yeah. Beau is Afraid, big disappointment for me. There you go. Guys, if you like what you've seen, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domain. Okay. Yeah. As far as the younger kid there, I thought that they were using CGI for him. It's not. The guy, the kid actually looks like that. I thought they were like using some kind of de-aging technology on him, but it's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much that kid. This is the way he looks. Armin Nehepetian? Yeah. Now, he does have like a younger Joaquin Phoenix look to him, but when you see him in the film, you can tell that they weren't like de-aging him or anything like that. In the trailers, it did look like they were de-aging him, but as you can see here in some of the press stuff, yeah, that's the way his face looks. That's not a knock on him. I'm not trying to knock on him, but here, yeah, it didn't. People were like, is that just a CG version of it? It doesn't look... I thought it was, but no, that's just the way the dude looks. Okay. Yeah. So that'll be cut out and put up on the channel later on. Pfeiffer says, nice review. Thanks. Again, I gotta call it as it is. Joaquin Phoenix, I do still respect as an actor. He was just trying something different here. But there's nothing about his character that made me go, wow, right? And there's nothing about him that I guess I could relate to. Maybe if somebody who does suffer from anxiety with stuff like people being outside, people coming into your apartment and that kind of stuff, maybe some people could relate to that. Then having like an overbearing mother at times, I suppose. Yeah. All right. Let's get back into the headlines here, guys. That'll be cut out and put up on the channel later. Okay.